Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Hey guys, it's Filthy. Thanks for clicking on the video. Before we get started with this wizard guide, we've got 3 pieces of housekeeping, if that's okay. If you just give me a couple of minutes of your time. First is that this video is going to be sponsored by Eneba.com, so I will roll the ad immediately after I've done with my other 2 pieces of housekeeping. Secondly, I recorded this wizard guide before the hotfix to the Firebirds. I probably wouldn't change anything in the build. I have retested it post the hotfix and I would run it exactly the same. We're doing 110 at our current paragon and gear levels. The mirror images now don't benefit from the 2-piece Firebirds, so they don't get saved by the meteors. So they do die. I do lose them sometimes in 110, particularly in poison, things like that. But I wouldn't run on Enforcer. That is the fix. If you take that legendary gem, you get 90% damage reduction on them. I wouldn't do that because I just think it's not worth giving up the damage gem. The pylons that you can get with Flavor of Time really negate it, so it's just going to be not quite as effective at 110s. You could drop the GR level a couple, but what I'm getting at is I have tested this again post hotfix and I'm quite happy with it. So even though I do understand that it's not quite as it is in the video, I still wouldn't change anything. Now, the third and final piece of housekeeping is on Saturday the 1st of May, we're going to do the first Filthy Casual Community Challenge stream. This is going to be at 2 PM UK time on Twitch. It is a 4-hour challenge. You are all welcome to enter. I will show you how to set up your character in readiness to do it. We're all going to have a very level playing field when we start, and it's going to be 4 hours to get as far into the game as you can. So the highest GR will be the winner. So at the end of this video, I'll show you how to set it up. So timestamp in the description. I'm going to go film that now. But other than that, let's get on with the Eneba advert and also the wizard guide, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much for hearing me out. Peace. And today's video is sponsored by Eneba.com, who sell games. We can get keys for PC games, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo eStore, all at a discount, which is obviously brilliant. There is actually a partnership currently with Trustly running a spring sale, and this is live until the 9th of May. So if you use the link in the description, it will take you to the landing page. We've got just over 12 days at the time of recording this. We can see plenty of big titles here at a huge discount. So let's say we wanted to pick up Cyberpunk on this really great deal. We would simply click through and we would use Trustly to pay. So let's talk about that. Trustly is a payment provider that makes it easy to pay with your own bank account. Make your purchase super easy and pay from your bank with Trustly. No app, no registration, no manual entry, very secure. It's easier to pay with Trustly than other alternatives, and you don't need any cards or passwords whilst also paying with money you already have. So one last reminder, the sale is on until the 9th of May, so do check out the link in the description and pick up some cheap games, obviously at a fantastic price. I hope you find something that you like, and we'll go back to the video now. What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we're looking at solo speed farming on the wizard. This obviously is going to be a guide on Firebirds. Now, I've been playing this quite a bit. This is a good way of farming solo paragon. It's not the fastest speed build in the world, the way the mechanics are, which we will talk about as we go through. I mean, it is very hard to clear super fast rifts with this, but it does go very high. So we'll be doing a 110, probably in about 4 or 5 minutes, I'll guess, with about 16.5k main stat. Now, I've been playing Wizard a fair bit this season, so I've got some pretty decent gear pieces. My weapon, I still desperately want another one. Thumbs up, come on, give me a thumbs up. Maybe we'll get some luck when we next do some reforges. I feel like I've reforged this about what feels like about a bazillion times, but yeah. I've taken, I don't know, about 50 goes at this, and this is the best one that I've got probably still, so it is what it is. Anywho, let's jump in and take a look. Now, Firebirds, hopefully speaking, we're all fairly familiar with it. It's fairly easy, I think, to get your head around the kind of basic mechanics. We channel. This builds up combustion stacks. They decay over time, but provided you channel, they build up. Now, they don't drop when you teleport, so pretty much you can keep these 50 stacks up the entire time. What do the stacks do? Well, they do obviously remove the cooldown on teleport for us, so we can just literally teleport infinitely. So we can get across maps pretty fast. We also get damage reduction on the 4-piece, and we get this damage on the 6-piece. Now, the way it works is we have to tag something. Once we tag it with combustion, we then have to blow it up with another fire spell. Now the fire spell in question is going to be Spectral Blade, but we're not going to manually cast this. It is going to be mirror images, duplicates. They will basically do the work for us. So we're going to tag, when we find an elite, we're going to pop the mirror images. They will run around, and hopefully speaking, if they're behaving themselves, they will attack the right target and blow it up for us. We are going to be taking a rogue because we've got 5 pieces of Firebirds, so we want the helm, chest, boots or pants, either is fine, just whichever you get that is best. I'm running Necro as well this season, so I'm using these on Bone Spear, so it makes sense to get the boots for Firebirds. Gloves, obviously, we have got the Orgild set, so we've got shoulders here, braces here, and crimsons as we showed. Now these 4 pieces are craftable. Bounties suck a little bit, but it is worthwhile investing the time doing a bunch of bounties and making a bunch of these. There shouldn't really be much of an excuse for you to have subpar pieces here because they are makeable. I do sympathise, it is frustrating, but it's well worth the investment in time. Now, Orgild's 2-piece, we get damage reduction by 15%, increased damage by 30%. We also get reduction for elites and increased damage against the elites, which is nice because we are essentially an elite sniper in this build. We can kill trash, but it's super inefficient to do so. So this set just works wonders with Firebirds. Crimsons, we get cooldown, resource cost reduction. Both those things are super handy because we want uptime on the mirror images because they do the damage. They're on a 15-second cooldown. We want to get this back ASAP. And resource cost reduction is handy. It just kind of keeps our arcane power up. Now you'll see if we hold it down, it does go down. I get a lot of questions on stream about arcane power. APOC on your source is the biggest thing that you want. You don't want any attack speed. I don't think we've got any. Maybe I've got attack speed on this ring, which I wouldn't want. I would much prefer cooldown. But you take a topaz in the helm, APOC on the source, and that should pretty much sort you out. If it does not, you can take a passive that will give you a bit more resource. But provided you're hitting stuff, this shouldn't run out. But obviously without that APOC going off on your source, you're not going to be able to maintain your arcane power. But yeah, as I say, there is a little fix in the passives, but no attack speed on the weapon. You definitely don't want that, and you don't really want it on your rings. This is just the best one I've got. It's double crit with a 50 on the crit damage and the socket, so, you know, as I say, it always is what it is, guys. We have got the Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose. When we stand still, we get 100% damage. We don't really do much moving around, so pretty much it is just there for the modifier. It's probably better than Squirts, I'd say, because it won't drop. Squirts will drop sometimes, but you know, in theory, you could take Squirts and maybe go for Unity. That's a setup worth trying, I think. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to be using this for your speeds. So, well, I say speeds in group meta, so it may well be that these 2 things get up, but certainly that is something worthwhile trying. But yeah, this is just a little bit of consistency. Now, in the cube, we've got the Orb of Infinite Depth, Explosive Blast. This, in theory, does set off the 6-piece, so if you do catch something with your Explosive Blast, it will activate the 6-piece Firebirds, which is great. But basically, it is here because it will give us up to 40% extra damage, so 10% damage stacking 4 times. It also gives us 20% damage reduction stacking 4 times. 80% DR, pretty huge, you know, 80% on the set as well. We are quite tanky, particularly when we look at our resource cost reduction. So we've got 37%, so that's another 37%. Again, if I had a bit more patience, I probably would have pressed on for RCR and cooldown on my shoulders, but I haven't bothered. We've got Tasker and Theo. Now, technically the mirror images are pets, so they attack faster with this. This doesn't increase their damage, it just increases the rate at which they activate the 6-piece bonus. So I don't play with Enforcer for speeds. The extra damage doesn't work, you don't get any extra damage, but what that would do is it stops your mirror images from dying. Mine don't die anyway, so there is no point taking it. We have Convention of Elements for huge spike damage on fire, which comes just after cold like that. So, you know, if you've got your mirror images and you can kind of time them so that you're letting them go a little bit just before fire, then that would be fine. They last, how long do they last? 7 seconds. So provided you get them off, you can have the entire fire rotation with them up. I wouldn't worry too much about worrying. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's just something to bear in mind. We've got a Death Wish, so provided we are holding down channeling like this, we are going to get up to 325% damage. Game, come on, you know I want me a better weapon than this. Rogue we've covered. There is a swap here. You can take the Mantle of Channeling, 25% damage and damage reduction. I think it's a bit of a muchness. I kind of like them proccing more often, which is why I've gone for that one. But if you're struggling for toughness a little bit, you certainly can try that. And I'd say you just hold down the channeling. Gems wise, I've got Taguk. Again, it takes a bit of time to build up, but it is more damage and more toughness. So what are we getting? We are getting 72% extra damage and 2% armor per stack. Pretty nice. We've got a Trapped. We are close range and personal, so obviously Juggernaut, we don't get the benefit, but other than that, it is just extra damage. Everything is close range, which is nice. And then a powerful for a little bit more elite damage and damage reduction, and that extra damage once we smoke our first elite. I don't think there's terribly much in terms of gear swaps other than what we've covered. In terms of stats, you want cooldown and double crits on your gloves. Main stats or resource cost reduction is probably fine. For your shoulders, main stat cooldown and resource cost reduction with vitality would be ideal. Helm, you just want crit chance, main stat, vitality. Chest plate, vitality, main stat, life percent is great. For the crimsons, int, vit, life percent, armor. Pretty much the same for the pants. We want main stat, vitality, armor. And again, the same on the boots. Bit boring, there's no skill damage. I haven't quite decided. I might roll the meteor off for life per second on these. I might just roll up the int by another 100 or so. I'm having a little think about that. I'm not really sure where best to put my points in that. We get fire damage on the Firebirds Finery, which is great. You need a decent damage roll. So mine can be improved. I can improve the fire. You want main stat, crit chance, and APOC, so arcane power on crit is perfect. For your Ugilds, 5% crit chance, and then int and vit is POG. Traveler's Pledge, we want fire, double crit socket, very hard to get. So double crit socket would be, you know, what you're aiming for. So main stat, socket, double crit would be okay. Again, this is a piece I'm looking to improve. For your Compass Rose, you want double crit, socket, int, and cooldown. Resource cost reduction would be okay. I probably would also take vitality. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I don't really want attack speed on there. And I think that covers the rolls, bar the weapon. This I really don't want. You want, you probably want cold damage or something like that, because then that opens up passives for you, because you can do the passive elemental exposure. You want damage percent, definitely. You want cooldown, definitely. And after that, yeah, I don't know really. What would we want? We want damage, cooldown, and main stat, I think, would probably be what I would be looking for. Right, okay, skills. Disintegrate, Chaos, Nexus. This, when the beam hits something, will like do a kind of disperse, and it just allows for more mobs to be tagged. Spectral Blades, Flame Blades. We need another fire spell to detonate those Firebird stacks for us, which is pretty good. Magic weapon, I found 110 with my level. I need deflection, so we gain a shield as we attack, which is nice. If you're doing a little lower level content, you can take force weapon for a bit more damage. I probably would say deflection is near enough always going to be the way to go. The shield just seems a bit better than squeezing an extra little bit of damage for this. If we did wave clear, I think this would be a much more viable option, but on the basis that we're leaving a lot of trash. Spear chuckers, tongue lashes, there's lots of nasty shit in this game at 110, so the extra shield I think is probably more beneficial. Explosive blast chain reaction, we just spam this. You can either spam it manually, hold it down if you're on console, or numlock it. And if you don't know what numlocking is, you just type into YouTube, you'll find a guide. This gives us the damage reduction and the extra damage, which is nice. Mirror images, duplicates, which obviously we've talked about. And then teleport, I would always go for safe passage. We get infinite teleport anyway, so you may as well just take the 25% damage reduction, and then you can just kind of cast that whenever, every 5 seconds. You know, the the teleport's got the little bar on it, so you know that when it's about to run out, you can just pop it again, and then you've got your 25% damage reduction. So you can keep on top of that if you are a little squishy. Passives wise, evocation, 20% cooldown. We want to basically be able to press this button as many times as we can, because we obviously just want to find either groups of juicy progression monsters or preferably elites and pylons. Galvanizing ward, again, this keeps us pretty tanky with the shield. Now this will drop. What you got to bear in mind is your shield will come back immediately for your magic weapon, so it will look like you've got a shield, but if you do start losing health, your galvanizing ward has dropped, you need 5 seconds of not taking any damage to boost this back up. So what you'll find in the rift is, as you're battling away, if you do drop your life and your shield, what will happen is you'll get this one back straight away, but you'll feel a lot squishier, and that is just simply because you haven't taken the time, the 5 seconds away for galvanizing ward. So that's a judgment call. You can just teleport away, go back into the fight after 5 seconds with this extra shield, because obviously it is pretty huge, but as I say, totally up to you. Next passive, Unwavering Will. When we stand still, which is pretty much all we do in this build, we zip about with teleport. We get 20% armor, 20% all res, and 10% damage. And then Audacity, close range build, 30% more damage, sure, why not? Now, we did mention elemental exposure. We can do that because Chaos Nexus is arcane, and obviously we've got a bunch of fire stuff. So if you did get, let's say, cold or lightning on your weapon, you could, in theory, take this, and that would be 3 stacks of it for 15% damage. You can take Unstable Anomaly, that's a cheat death, but we do obviously have a couple already, because Firebird's 2-piece gives us a cheat death, which is brilliant, and our follower will give us one as well. So I do take the Fate's Lapse rather than doing the attack speed. Again, attack speed doesn't seem to do much for us, so we may as well go for cheat death. We've also gone for the 10% increased damage on erosion, static elemental damage of up to 10%, and then I haven't picked a first skill. For running GRs, it is pretty important that you have Nemesis Braces. This will give us obviously elites from pylons. We get the pylon effects doubled in terms of their duration because of the flavour of time. Spauldrons, I can't get through a video without saying something wrong. Boulders of Zakara, these give us indestructible items, means we don't have to repair, which is nice. Other than that, we've got an Oculus, which obviously doesn't emanate, but we still do get the Oculus circles, so you want to kind of jump into them. I've left Unity on the follower for this one, because realistically there isn't anything else, I don't think, to take. But yeah, the main two of these two, Oculus obviously super important, and yeah, I'd say these are fairly handy. Obviously you want the token, that means that your Enchantress cannot get squished. Right, I think that covers everything, so let's jump in and we'll take a little look-see and see if we can talk through how it plays. Now, one weird thing with this, oh, spaghetti, brilliant. One thing with this is that the maps, even if you drop it by 5 GRs, aren't terribly quicker. So I've decided to pop my mirror images down. I maybe should have waited a little bit because we're now on fire, just because those enemies are fairly high progression. And then it's just a case about, making a decision. Do I want to wait for elites and use them? Because you're not going to gain any progression whilst you fly through like this. But then on the other hand, you want your mirror images available when you do find an elite. Now something like this, Illusionist that flies away, is a real pain in the ass. It's very annoying. It's just the elite sniper nature of the build, I guess. Right, where's this last one? Did we get it? I think we got it. I don't know. We'd have to watch it back. So there we go. I've decided to press my mirror images, and I now don't have them whilst we wait for this blue to come around. But we've popped it now in the middle of cold, so provided they actually attack something, that would be handy. What I would say is how fast these maps go depend pretty much on how many pylons you find and what pylons they are. Conduit is amazing for this build because it will allow you to do sort of wave clear, because the Condi will obviously kill some trash and stuff, which is very good. We also like, what do we like? We like cooldown a lot. The channeling pylon is nice because that is a whole couple of minutes of being able to basically cast the mirror images whenever you want, and that is very underrated and very helpful. But yeah, anything like this, all this stuff with shielding is a pain, stuff that flies away is a bit of a pain. But you know, I mean, at the end of the day, 110 for solo speeds with a not perfected character is good. Ah, there we go. That's some decent RNG at least. But yeah, this should demonstrate what I was getting at, because obviously all this trash normally wouldn't be getting killed. We would have to wait for the mirror images to do it. But yeah, the Condi just helps us out massively. Now, as you can see, we're now taking damage, so we don't have that galvanizing ward shield. So that's a decision. Do we want to back away? Do we want to carry on? Obviously, whilst we have the conduit up, it was very sensible to stay in the fight, unless it looks like we're about to die. So if we didn't have the Condi, maybe we would have teleported away for a little bit and ducked and dived to get that galvanizing ward back. But again, it depends how hard you're being slammed. Some mobs, some affixes hit pretty hard. What else? Knockback is very annoying. This sounds like I'm complaining. I really shouldn't be. This build is fantastic. 110 speeds. Oh, there we go. We've got the channeling. But yeah, knockback can be a bit annoying as well. Obviously, they smash you to the other side of the map, is what it feels like. But yeah, right. So we got lost. Well, I mean, at least you can see this in terms of its maps at the worst. But obviously the pylons have helped. So yeah, so when you've got the channeling, I should be making a bit more of an effort to just pump out the mages. Well, yeah, are they mages? Mirror images, not mages. Just again, we may as well get the progression whilst we go. So Condi and also the channeling are super nice. Power always, you know, extra damage just means you kill stuff quicker. So that is handy. Speed is a little bit useless. Doesn't really do much for us, but again, it's, you know, with the NEMs you get another spawn off it. So, oh, there we go. But yeah, how fast these are depends on the pylons. If you don't get any pylons, if you don't get any elites, you can, even on a festering woods, be pretty slow. It really does depend on what the RNG throws up for you. But you know, if you want to get your gems up to like, you know, the 110, 111 augment stage, then this is probably like a finishing process. And you can sit in this. I've got a couple of people in clan who I think pretty much play mostly solo, and they basically sit and do this a lot of the time, because you know it is super progression. So that's not too bad. As I say, not great maps, but we got quite lucky, I think, with the pylons and with the you know, and with the types, you know. So I'd say that was probably about average. It's 4.5 minutes. If you get really lucky, you can do it in 4. If you get some really bad scenario, it can be 5 minutes. But that is pretty much how I am solo speeding Firebirds. No red beam primal today, but you know, it is what it is. I think I've said that 3 times. I'm tired, guys. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying season 23. I'll be back with some more videos soon. Take it easy. Peace. And so here we are, guys. We are at the challenge portion of the video. So this is going to be the 1st of May at 2 PM UK time on Twitch. And this is how you're going to set your character up. Now, first off, you're going to have a level 70 character. So you can do this on season or off season. It does not matter. Your character has to be completely nude, so nothing on them. Now, what you are allowed to do is you are allowed to craft yourself 3 Hellfire Amulets. Okay, I'm going to do 1 for the video. Because I want to save 3, I don't want to have to do another Uber run. This always drops with a socket, which is good, and then you will basically pick between the 3 amulets that you get. You keep 1, and you will basically bin the other 2. Now you will then take a Lod gem, which I do have a 99 one somewhere. It's socketed in something, but you want a 99 Legacy of Dreams. If yours is 70, it's 70. It doesn't matter, and you pop that in there. Now, in the cube, what you are going to have is Convention of Elements, Leorics Crown, and also Ingeom. You cannot change these. These will stay for the entirety of the challenge. You are now allowed to take a Lucky Dip at Kadala for each of these slots, so 1 roll per slot, and this will be your starting gear. So you just basically fill everything out with 1 go from Kadala. You can do a offhand if you want rather than a shield. or quiver mojo, depending on what class you're picking. You're free to pick any class, by the way. And a one-handed weapon, 2 rings. So we're starting with nothing, no legendaries. That's fine. Now, your follower also has to be completely naked, nothing on them. And the idea is that you're going to use the Log Gem to level up. So you would now free to start your 4-hour timer, jump into a rift on normal, and then you just basically scale your way through the game. So what the rules are is no going into your stash. Things can go into your stash, but they cannot come out. So you can't take any of these gems or anything like that. You also cannot craft anything at Hadrig, so no cheating and making weapons. It is literally a 4-hour challenge to basically play with what you find. No other legendary gems, so nobody's going to be taking like a 150 trapped or anything like that. So the idea is that it is Log Gem only, and you're going to build your character up. Every time you find an item, you're going to gain in power because of the way the Log Gem works. You're going to try and build whatever you can to get as high as you can. As I say, with these 3 things in the cube, and you can pick any class. It should give us all a level-ish playing field. Obviously, RNG is going to be a big factor in this, but I think that's going to be fun. We're going to see how far we can get in the 4 hours. We're just going to make whatever it is that the game drops us in that time. And I hope you like it. And if it's fun, we'll do another one. We've done this for, I think, raising 25 subs on Twitch in a week or so. So if we do like it, I'll set another sub goal, and we'll make up another one if it's something you enjoy. Hope to see you Saturday. Any questions, you can join the Discord or come by the stream and ask me. But we're going to blast this for 4 hours and see how we do. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video, and particularly for watching this challenge rift portion. Love you all. See you soon. Peace.